Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to be looking at the new Dynex Solve 2.2.5. They just released it 2 days ago. So we're going to be going through a little bit of profitability, looking at the improvements, and then we're just going to discuss something that I mentioned in my video around 2 weeks ago. So as you can see on my channel here, we have two videos about Dynex coin. The first one is kind of just discussing Dynex coin, which is this one by here. And it's just like the problems with it and how they explained it. And then this one here is more of an in-depth into the coin, looking at a couple of videos from the founders and stuff like that, just to get an idea of what Dynex coin is, because a lot of people, as it came onto the scene, didn't really know how it worked, and they saw the instability in the mining programs, and I did as well. That's why I was thinking maybe this is a scam or something like that. But they've actually released a new version of the Dynex Solve. So when I first created my video, the 2.2.3 was out, and that was up to 15% more hash rate and parameters adjusted for each GPU. And they've actually released 2.2.4, but I was away, so I couldn't make a video on that, and they just released this new 2.2.5. So I'll go over both the release versions, just so you can get an idea of how much the miner has improved since that first video where I discussed some of the problems with it. And the main problem obviously was the continuous power cycles. And they've got this to continuous power draw. So there was cycles between power, like it would go down to 60% and then it would spike back up to 90%. And it was kind of just really damaging the GPUs over time if you had just left it on. So they've actually fixed this in the previous version. They've got distributed hashing over multiple CPU threads. So that's just more about their machine learning that they've got going on and the actual proof of useful work. This is more in tune with all of that stuff, but the main thing was for continuous power draw, no more power cycles. And then here they have, in the latest version, the last GPU with lower chips. So they've got a thing called like simulated chips on Dynex coin when you're mining it. And basically it's going to have last GPU with lower chips. You know, when you're in the miner, your last GPU on the rig might have lower chips, but they've actually released it to fix. And then kernel check and hang GPU hang detection and stability improvements, which is obviously good because stability is one of the main things that I really didn't like about mining Dynex. And that was because it was just really hurting the GPUs through the power cycles that it was doing. So we've got this new version. It's pretty much the same as the old version. You have to create your own mining file again, but they did actually say here that the mining software supporting Dynex Solve algorithm. So there might be other mining softwares that are going to start supporting it, like, T-Rex miner. I'm not saying that that's the one. I'm just saying that some of those miners could start supporting the algorithm. And then we have CUDA NVIDIA GPUs and AMD not supported yet. So you still can't mine on AMD. I know on this hash rate calculator, as we can see the profits, we'll go over them in a little bit. It does actually say that the AMD RX 7900 XT is actually the top of the list. So I don't know how they got the figures for that, but clearly somebody's been able to maybe mine with their AMD GPUs. So I just want to look at this home page for Dynex coin. They've actually updated it since the last video, and one of the main things that I said about that video was that they didn't actually show any of the jobs that they were displaying and which could be done on proof of useful work. So here we actually have the jobs listed. So there was a 100,000 Dynex coin job, as we can see here, upcoming jobs, and 2 jobs that are already computing right now. They actually mentioned that in the Discord in the video. 2 jobs actually going on right now, and then 6 finished jobs. So the way that this is distributed, I believe, is just through, it could be through a mining pool, or if somebody gets lucky, they could actually solve the problem themselves on their GPUs and then get rewarded for that. So it's a bit of a different kind of method from just pool mining or solo mining. Your GPU might be the first one to solve their problem on this particular kind of job, and then you would get the solution reward. But there is a reward out there for 100,000 Dynex and another 100,000 Dynex. So some people could be getting those in, or it could just be through a mining pool and then they distribute it out. And then we've got other jobs, as we can see here, totaling about 110,000 Dynex. Now, one thing that I did want to mention about Dynex coin is that we need to actually start switching pools, because this Neuro pool has 52% of the hash rate. I know it fluctuates between the days, but it's mostly going to have over 50%. So I encourage you guys to use EKA pool or minerandro.space, just so we can spread out the hash rate so Dynex coin doesn't get hacked. And then we could have problems with the coin's price because people would be selling it and, creating their own blocks and stuff like that. So I just want to encourage you guys to switch pools. It's always a big thing in the mining sector that everyone goes to the top pool because they've got more share of the blocks. However, we should start actually spreading around and spreading the awareness to stop this because a lot of these small coins can get hacked. I know that they say that their security is foolproof or whatever, but 51% attacks do happen, and they can happen to smaller coins because it's easier to get more of the hash rate on the network. With Ethereum or Bitcoin, it's harder because there's so many machines out there, but on smaller coins, it is a problem. So as I said, when you download the Dynex solve, it's not going to come with this start mining folder. I just took it from my video. If we right click and edit this, we can see that I've got dynexsolve.exe and then a mining address and basically a bunch of other things and then the pool here. So you can get one of these if you just go onto one of these pools here. Let's go on EKA pool and we click on get started. And there is the Dynex solve batch kind of text. So you just input the pool, as you can see here, and then you input your mining address by there. So it's no different from the other one. And they did say that there was going to be miner support on mining softwares, but I haven't actually seen any mining software support it yet. Maybe I just missed that. So let me know in the comments what mining software has actually supported this. Now let's actually go into profits. And as you can see, we're on hash rate NO and we just clicked on the GPU side and we've sorted it by profit. And Dynex coin is basically the top for every single card out there. As you can see, no other card is ever competing with the profitability until we get down to here on laptop GPUs. So a lot of people are mining Dynex coin, and this may be because they've got new jobs coming through for that 100,000 Dynex and the 2 other ones that they've got coming up. So this is probably supported by that. So there's a lot of actual revenue to be made. Now the profits on it are around $1.60 for top end GPUs like the AMD ones and for the 40 series. There is a 3090 Ti which is bringing in a decent amount of profit here at $1.18 per day. And this is only at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, so you might have way higher than that. If we could edit this, we could put something like, 25, and we'll see where we go from there. So that still brings the profit down a lot, but there are still a lot of profitable GPUs. As you can see here, a load of 30 series, a load of 6000 series from AMD, the 20 series, 2080 Super. Let's just go down until we find something that's not profitable. We've got the 1660 Ti, which is always a good one for Ethereum. And then we start to hit non-profitability at around the 3080 Ti. So the 30 series, the 20 series, and there's a bunch of A2000s, A5000s here, and the 1660s are doing really well. There's a lot of AMD cards. AMD tend to be better efficiency on certain algorithms, and they can really dominate on those. But for the most part, the NVIDIA is taking over this kind of profit share, I guess. And lastly, we go over to CoinMarketCap. We'll just have a look at the price of Dynex coin right now. So it's at 8 cents with a bunch of others on the end, and it's up 10% at the moment. Well, it's just jumped to 12% as I click that. And on the 7-day chart, there's not really much price change. And that really shows how much, profitability you can actually make from Dynex coin. If we go on a month chart, we can actually see that it was way higher back around 3 months ago in last year, but it's actually come down, and surprisingly, it still is profitable. And then if we actually go over to the US converter, we can see how much these jobs are worth. So they have one for 100,000, which is around $8,000. And then let's see which other jobs they have. So one that was completed here, 5,000 Dynex, and that is around $400. So they are getting some sort of proof of useful work coming in, and there's obviously just regular mining of Dynex coin, which will uphold the network. But for now, I think the profitability is going up because people are offering rewards for this proof of useful work. And if this model is proven to bring in profitability, we could see coins like Flux try to up their proof of useful work deadline just so they can get this out, as it would in turn allow miners to gain more profitability from Flux. I know right now it's really low just because of the halving, but we could start seeing more profitability from Flux when they bring in this proof of useful work, if it works out the same way as Dynex coin did. So that's it for the video, guys. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on Dynex coin mining.